Hi, I'm Brandon Fields, the voice of Private Josh Woods on the Haven Chronicles. You're listening to Sci-Fi Haven.
Welcome to Sci-Fi Haven. Today we are reviewing the third episode of the Haven Chronicles audio drama. Today we are reviewing part 3 of 3 of Chapter 1, the final part. We have reviewed all 3 parts individually, and we are going to also listen and review to all 3 parts back to back and do a complete Chapter 1 review. Unlike our initial release back in November, when we released the Chapter 1 review after waiting for Chapter 2, we're actually going to do it with the next episode. Anyways, let's check out Tear Tower today. Does anyone else seem to get distracted in telling a story? Well, Jason Oatman never seems to keep track of what it seems like his train of thought is when he talks. But you ask any of my friends, it's how I am as well, which is actually why I have to script all my podcasts, and well, it helps when I'm re-releasing my podcast as well. Wait a moment. Specialist Sarah Lee has never seen The Shining? Oh wait, neither have we. And, well, I don't see myself ever watching it. But if you go listen to our podcast, podcast episode that is, they didn't send a warning party. Woods mentioned there are 1 million people living in the tower. And maybe that's why on a single floor we had rooms 237, 1408, 666, 13, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, 24601, and room 33. Those are some weird choices to mention for rooms. I'm still wondering, is there any particular reason for those numbers? Although speaking to the cast and crew of the Haven Chronicles in our weekly meetup that we have, I was told that they're all major cultural references. But you know what? I have no idea what they are. So come join the conversation on Twitter or join us in the Communicator Facebook group and let me know what those references are, please. Well, let's start with a couple of rooms that I do know the reference of. We're going to start with rooms 666 and 42. Well, it's very common 666 is considered the devil's number. And while 42 is the meaning of life in the universe, according to the Hitchhiker's Guide in the Galaxy. But I'm curious, what about the others? Also, are they all on the same floor? Are they side by side? Like, maybe I should get a map of Tear Tower. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast and have a word from our sponsor of this episode. Here at Sci-Fi Haven, we actually don't have a sponsor. We have partnered with the Haven Chronicles. Therefore, they are our sponsor for the review of their show. But we are choosing to join them with our Patreon account, which is how we support their show as well. On Patreon, we publish our new shows a few days in advance. And what we've done is for every $3 in Patreon funding we receive, we donate $1 to the Haven Chronicles. So unlike with our other sponsors, we are asking for funding to help run Sci-Fi Haven and the Haven Chronicles. When you join our Patreon page for as little as $1 a month, you get access to our members-only Discord. You also get early access to our entire Sci-Fi Haven publication directory, so that includes all of our shows. And if you choose to join us at the $5 level, you can gain a producer credit on any show you choose. This includes our show, the review, the Haven Chronicles. For all the details of our Patreon bonuses, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/Sci-Fi Haven. Let's get back to this week's episode, and I hope you'll support us and the Haven Chronicles today. There was no issue with room 33, it appears. So I guess it's time to relax. Let's join them in the room. Oh wait, there is a bed in there, of course. Well, ladies first wins for the winner, but as a recently coming out non-binary individual, I will say it is a little sexist for Lee to get the bed. But Lee deserves the bed because it's called being a good person. And also, it's time for Lee to sit down, relax, connect to the Haven Wi-Fi, and what streaming service do they have on Haven? We're going to have to ask Lee what streaming service it is. And then she can go download or stream Deciding to Watch. I'm sorry, but I won't be joining you in watching it. You know, it's a really short episode, so that's why I'm making jokes like that. And they weren't kidding when they mentioned back on Twitter that this is going to be the shortest episode they have. But it does make it easy for a quick rewind and listen for a second or third or maybe even fourth time listening to it while reviewing this episode. I guess I can look back at our own reviews of the Haven Chronicles. They have been pretty short themselves. Episode 1 was like 6 minutes. Episode 2 was like 6.5 minutes. And this episode, well, the episode ran 7 minutes 40 seconds. And this episode is looking like it's going to be like maybe 5 minutes. But I think it's just good storytelling. It doesn't matter how long an episode is. Just like watching Avengers Endgame for the first time, which I saw with an old roommate of mine during the opening weekend. I had recently fractured my ankle only a month before Endgame came out, and, well, I didn't even notice that the 3-hour movie was 3 hours. Anyways, let's get back to this. Oh, wait. I actually talked about everything about this episode that I can think of. Well, next week we are going to be reviewing all 3 parts as one, so take a listen for that.
Hi, I'm Brandon Fields, the voice of Private Josh Woods on the Haven Chronicles. You're listening to Sci-Fi Haven. If you enjoyed Sci-Fi Haven's review of the Haven Chronicles, well, come follow us. That's at Haven Chronicles on Twitter, or find us on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and our website, thehavenchronicles.com.
Thanks, Brandon, for providing us with a way that our listeners here have the details so they can come find you. If you want to find us on our social media platforms, you can find us most active on Twitter under the username sci-fi_haven, and we use the hashtag Sci-Fi Haven. But you can also find us on Facebook under the username Sci-Fi Haven, and like I previously mentioned, we do have our podcast available on YouTube. Links to each of our social media platforms is included in the show notes and on our website, sci-fihaven.ca. At this time, I'm going to invite you to join us on our Facebook group, The Communicator. We will be posting links to each episode in our Facebook group and also on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.